And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Ticket to Ride Japan and Italy. These are on two sides of the board because Japan is a long country and Italy is also a long country, so they both fit on this side of the board. This is the newest map pack for Ticket to Ride, map pack number 7. So you will need one of the base games of Ticket to Ride to play it. Ticket to Ride USA, Ticket to Ride Europe, Ticket to Ride Nordic countries, something like that. Now, as I go over this, if you don't know how to play Ticket to Ride, go watch one of those reviews first. In fact, go play that game first. This is an expansion, so I'm assuming you already know how to play. Here's what this one does differently. So first, let's take a look at the Italian map. Now, I'm showing you the Italian map sideways because this board is really long and I'm not able to fit it the other way on the table. And so you'll notice the board here has a bunch of different routes. This has routes that are 7 in length and they're worth 18 points if you finish them. But you'll also notice these symbols here. When you are going on those symbols, you need to, those are ferries, and you need to either spend a locomotive for those or a ferry card. So a ferry card, and you can draw these as one of your actions now, and you can only have 2 of them. But your action can simply be draw one of these and add it to your hand, and then you can play these and it will count as 2 of the symbols. That's the only thing that they're good for to place on the board. There's also your own set of tickets here for the game, and you can see there's some fairly long tickets in here, and in fact the tickets are going to be going straight up and down for the most part. There's a few that go across the country, and there's a few that go to countries. So if you've never played a Ticket to Ride map with countries before, a ticket will tell you to go to another country, and you can use any of these routes that connect to that country. But these routes do not connect to each other. So if I need to go from here to here, I cannot connect this way. The country is an ending point only, and you'll notice there's several countries involved in here that you're connecting to. At the end of the game, players are going to score points based on the number of different areas that they have collected on the board. So 15 areas is 56, 5 areas is 1 point. What do I mean by that? You'll see there's different provinces here on the board. Each of these provinces are in different colors. And so if, right there I've connected 2, and now I'm here, I'm now in 3 different colors, 1, 2, and 3. And the more of those that I connect, the more the points I'm going to get. There are 3 different special regions on the board, Sicilia, Puglia, and Sardinia. Apologize if I'm mispronouncing those. Those count as 2 points for that. So they count as 2, and you can also tell which area things are in by the different symbols that are on the spot, so the different regions. So at the end of the game, again, the more regions you have a single connection in, the more points you're going to get. And this matters because, like the example shows here, if I have these 2 networks here, they're not scoring anything, but if I connect them, now I'm suddenly connecting 9, which is worth 11 points. And if you manage to connect 15 or more, you can get a ton of points. So that's what this game is about. It's basically a regular Ticket to Ride game, with the main differences being getting the ferries and connecting those long routes, and then trying to be in the most areas at the end of the game. So here's the Japan map, and so there's a couple features I want to explain on the Japanese map. First of all, the game comes with 16 bullet trains. Also, you're going to take a marker for your player color, and I have lots of markers depending on which base version of Ticket to Ride you're using to play this, and you're going to put them over here. This is how much you've been helpful in building the bullet trains. So if you want to build a spot that shows the bullet train on it, you are simply going to pay a certain number of cards based on how long it is. So for example, if I want to connect these 2 areas here, I would play for red or for orange or for pink, for the same color. But instead of putting out 4 of your trains, you're simply going to take one of the 16 bullet trains and put it there. That shows that those are connected. And instead of you scoring points for that, you're instead just going to move up on this track based on the number of cards that you've played. And at the end of the game, players are going to score based on how far you are ahead on that track. So you can see up here in a 5-player game, whoever's the farthest ahead on that track is going to get 25 points, and whoever's the lowest will lose 10 points. And if you don't build any bullet trains at all, you are going to lose 20 points. So that's one feature of bullet trains. But bullet trains also count as connecting a route. So if, for example, I need to connect this city to this city here, this counts. The bullet trains count for everybody. And you'll notice that the bullet trains basically run the whole length of Japan. Now, another thing that you might notice here is you'll notice this map and this map are insets. Now, this one is really just so the board isn't longer. This is essentially just shoved here at the end, so when you connect here to Kokura, you can also then just keep going and connect to these areas here. Tokyo is a bit of a different story. When you go and connect to Tokyo, you can then connect to the provinces and areas of Tokyo, so that if I connect to Tokyo here from the neighboring city, I then can also then from there connect to different smaller suburbs of Tokyo. And you're going to have different train tickets. Sometimes, a lot of them are in Japan or in that other region, but sometimes they're going to need to go to a specific area inside Tokyo. This one just needs to go to Tokyo itself. Let's find some that go into, here we have one that's just inside Tokyo. And then here we go from this city, it has to go to Tokyo and then connect to that spot there. So these are the cards that are in this one. The routes in this one, there's a lot of smaller routes in this version. And that's pretty much it for this one. It's a simple Ticket to Ride game, but it's changed quite a bit by the fact that there are these bullet trains. Now there's 16 bullet trains, and I believe there's 23 or so paths on the board. Once all the bullet trains are used, then you can simply build on these as if they are gray. But then they are yours, no one else can use them. While when it's the bullet train, anybody can use those for connecting routes together. The game comes with an insert here that holds the 2 decks of cards in all the different colors. I really appreciate the fact that they included every color so that no matter what starter set you're using, you'll be able to have the token for that. They are just simple wooden discs. The bullet trains are the coolest feature of the game. I mean, they're painted little trains. They look really cool. They're fun to put on the board. The board itself looks really pretty. My biggest problem with the components is not actually the Japanese side, but the Italian side, because on the Italian side, the provinces, while they're different, and if you look carefully, you can see there's different symbols here. It's not easy at all to tell with a glance how many you have attached together. I wish there had been a track on this side, and every time you connect one of your networks to another province, you could increase that to show how big your things were, because it was really difficult to tell. And at the end of the game, when the board is covered with trains, it was even trickier to see and count those up. And I thought that actually detracted a bit from this side of the board. This is a great expansion, and I say that despite thinking the Italy side is okay. It's a fine Ticket to Ride map, and the ferry cards are okay, and connecting the routes, it's a very tight map, a lot of Ticket to Rides are, where you'll be fighting each other over different spots, and it's fine. Like I said, my biggest problem with the Italian map is just seeing the colors at the end, and they all kind of blur together, and it's difficult to keep track of them. But the Japan map is just that good. The bullet trains adds a completely new dynamic to the game. Yes, you want to build bullet trains because you want to score those extra points at the end of the game. It's not that many, but also connecting that bullet train, you can connect a pile of your routes on the board, but you also might be helping other people. So what's neat is if you can build off that bullet train and get the bullet train built up so that it is spanning all Japan, then suddenly you can start completing tickets like that. The inset Tokyo map also is really cool. I mean, I like everything about the Japanese map. It is so much fun to play that one. It feels like a very different version of Ticket to Ride, and I like that. The Italian map, again, is kind of like more Ticket to Ride with some small area control stuff at the end of the day. And I wouldn't say it's bad, it's just my least It's one of my least favorite of the maps, but the Japanese one brings the whole thing up to another level, because when you buy this, you get both maps. So you get a decent map, and then you get an amazing map. And the extra little trains help. It's just a lot of fun. I'm glad to see Ticket to Ride still being taken in new directions and adding the bullet trains, which are super fun to ride. If you've never ridden one, it is a neat experience, just like this game. Ticket to Ride, Japan and Italy. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see y'all next time. Dice Tower Judgment, excellent.